Here we are in the BMW X3 M50. This is fully redesigned for 2025. We're in our 4th generation now, and this thing rips. We got a fast car this week. Powering this BMW X3 M50 is everybody's favorite B58. So that is a 3-liter inline 6, and it makes 393 horsepower and 428 pound-feet of torque. And this has an 8-speed ZF transmission, and listen to this thing shift. So 4th generation, this is the replacement basically for the X3 M40i of the last generation. They've gotten rid of the I now, and they just call it an M50, not an M50i, and that's because BMW is reserving I for electric cars only. So the previous X3 M40i made 382 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque, so there has been a decent bump in power from the previous generation. This new BMW X3 M50 starts at $79,000 here in Canada and $64,000 in the US. As spec'd, this one is about 85 grand. So what exactly is the difference between buying a regular X3 and this M50? Well, the X330 has a 2-liter 4-cylinder that makes 255 horsepower. Its focus is more on, say, fuel economy, comfort, and luxury. Whereas when you step up to this M50, you get a performance-focused experience with M suspension, an M Sport differential, variable sport steering, M Sport brakes, quad exhausts, and an overall more aggressive design language inside and out. This all leads to a much more engaging driving experience. All right, so we got some turns ahead. Let's experience that. It is wet out, so I'm not gonna push it or anything. Let's just, yeah. So nice through corners. Oh, yeah, that's, I mean, there's like the tiniest bit of body roll, but really, it's not that bad. It's an SUV, you still wanna be comfortable, right? So controlled, handles beautifully. So in the cabin here, it sounds pretty loud. However, that's not how it actually sounds. So we'll turn the iconic sounds off, and then this is a more realistic version here. I'll show you. So downshift. Still hear it, and it's still pretty loud, but that's the actual sound. All right, let's see what the 0 to 60 time is on this BMW. I've got the race box up here. I'm gonna put this boost mode on. There goes 10 seconds. We're gonna launch control to go, launch control active. So fast. Woo! 4.15 to 60 miles per hour. That is quick, and it's in the rain. All right, haven't been in a fast vehicle for a while. That made me a little lightheaded. That is fun. Launch is hard. All right, we're gonna turn iconic sounds off for this launch. Let's see what the difference is in sound. So fast. 4.14, that is the best time I've gotten so far. That's really good. Now you're thinking, sweet, it's got a lot of power, it's set up to be sporty, it must be stiff. Some people say it is, but I'm out here on pretty bumpy country roads, and it's comfortable. I'm in sport mode, I'm in full sport mode. Now this doesn't have adaptive suspension, you can get that as an option. This one doesn't have it. However, really, I've had no issues. It's really comfortable in here, and these seats are great. Hold you in really well. So I had that RX 500 last week, and it was like decently direct with steering, but this, you can notice it's just so like, you hit the steering wheel and it goes. So I drove the last generation X3M, and that thing was an absolute beast, monster, loved it. However, for daily driving, it was stiff, but it was a whole lot of fun. It's just, this feels like a much more usable vehicle for your everyday life. You're not gonna get tired driving around in this. Okay, so a bit of a break in the rain so we can take a look at the outside of this BMW X3 M50. As you can see around me, you can see branches down from the freezing rain we had this week, but I have to say it smells really good in here. You really smell the cedars. It smells like British Columbia. Anyways, let's talk about the car. From this angle, it looks quite nice actually. I know this is BMW Canada's first car they're giving me, but I do have to say I did like the previous X3 design over this one. But I have to say, from this angle with the wheels turned like that, pretty nice. And so up front, we've got this giant grille, like two big nostrils, and it is a glowing grille, so you can see that it has lights throughout it. In here, you'll also see they pack the radars in the grills there. You get a more aggressive front end because this is the M50, and as you could just see there, those lights are very bright and really cool DRL shape. But I think it would be cool if they were just back to those halo lights. And because this is an M50, we've got an M badge right there. Around on the side here, you do have quite nice wheels. These are really nice looking rims. And then you've got those blue M Sport brakes back behind there. The tires are different sizes from the back to the front. So up front, we have 255 45s, and these are 20-inch rims. And then in the back, we have 285 40s. You've also got your cool M Sport mirrors. So just straightened out the wheel there, and this is kind of how it looks from the side. Over here, this is maybe kind of an awkward spot, just right here. But when you come back to the rear end, this is where things get a little bit better in my opinion. I think the back end's not too bad. You've got quad exhausts, looks great. These taillights are also very futuristic looking. And then you've got your big M50 badge over there and the X3. And then sort of a gloss black spoiler thing going on. I don't know, what do you think? The longer I've had the vehicle for the week, the more it's grown on me. It's definitely more conservative than some of the other BMW designs they've been throwing out lately. But you let me know in the comments below what you think about the design. So every week I put out a poll on both Instagram and YouTube to get your opinion on the design of the vehicle that I'm reviewing that week. And so the week I had the X3 M50, we got 392 votes. And it was right down the middle. 50% of you like it, 50% of you don't. I think it was like 50.2% approve. Still a majority approval, but very love it or hate it design. So this X3 is in a dune gray color, but if I was buying an X3 M50, I would probably get it in dark graphite metallic. I think it makes the blue M Sport brakes really pop, and that would be the color I would go with. Now, if you're wondering what vehicle I'm in right now, I'm in a 2025 Mazda CX-70, so this video will be coming out soon. If you want to vote on the design of this vehicle, I will put a poll out on YouTube and Instagram. So you can follow me on Instagram, or you can subscribe on YouTube if you want to participate in those polls. Okay. It's like Halo coming in here. All right, let's turn this on here. Okay, so this is, oh, yep, I'm running out of gas. So this is the all-new X3 M50 interior. And as you can see, we're starting to compete with Mercedes with the ambient lighting. BMW is really getting into ambient lighting now, and it will change colors with your drive modes. We've got this kind of curved display, and it's a 14.9-inch screen size over here and a 12-something inch over here for your instrument panel. I think it's about 12.3 or something like that. And this also does have a really large heads-up display, as you can see here, and it changes with all your drive modes. And then on your cool sporty gauge for your driver's display, you can hit 7,000 RPM. and it's pretty exciting when it does that. But right off the bat, the coolest part about this interior is this awesome M Sport steering wheel. Really nice. We got the red at 12 o'clock here, and we got these massive paddle shifters and a boost button on the left here. And that boost button will give you 10 seconds of max performance, basically. You got the M colors stitched throughout the steering wheel, and then the M Sport logo right down at the bottom there. Love the steering wheel. However, when you look around, you're gonna see very few buttons, which I don't know if you know me well yet, but I am a big fan of physical buttons in cars, so when I don't see them, I get a little sad. But really, if you want HVAC controls, you have to go through a menu. So you can turn your temperature down from here, which is good, and then you can do your heated steering wheel here. You can do your heated seats and ventilated seats. However, if you really want to get to fan speed, you got to hit this, and then it kind of is delayed, and then you've got to use this for your fan speed. So I'm a huge fan of just having a knob for fan speed, but if some people like this, that's totally fine. So you might be wondering, what is this right here? Well, this is actually where you control how much air comes out of each vent. So it's coming out now, and then I can kind of shut them off here. This is how you control like where they go. So interesting, not a fan. But let's get into some cool stuff. So let's see what happens when we do drive mode. So if we put into sport, we'll see the colors change in the car kind of all around. It like slowly comes in. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's cool. And then if we go into efficient mode, it goes into sort of that light blue that it was before with a little bit of white. But I think it looks the coolest in sport for sure. When you look down here at the ambient lighting, this is kind of like an open console. So you've got your wireless charger here and then just another spot for another phone. You've got two USB-Cs. You've got this M logo right here and then two cup holders. I would like if there was just something that could cover this so that you could like leave stuff in there and it not be in the wide open, but is what it is. We've got this little shifter, which is like all the BMW shifters right now. When you want to put it into park, you just hit your parking brake here, or you just turn the car off basically, or you open the door and it goes into park. You do have a rotary knob, so you can use this rotary knob for the screen if you don't want to touch the screen. So another really cool thing that I like about BMWs is their 360 camera. So if you go over here and hit 3D view, you can see all around your car and you can see your actual vehicle, and it is the color of the car too. So that's awesome, but really cool, good graphics. And then there are different views like parking view, assist view, all that kind of stuff. So the camera system is really good. I do like that system. Then if you do want to turn off your iconic sounds, you just go into the menu here and turn that off. And then you've got your auto start stop there as well. And then lane departure, hill descent control, and all that kind of stuff. Now, if you're looking for like fuel economy, that's in live vehicle here. And you just go to trip data, and it'll tell you your fuel economy since factory and since last refuel. And then on top of a 360 camera, you have an interior camera, which is just up here, and you can see we're waving. It's just kind of a fun gimmicky thing. You can take photos with your friends. You should be able to take video, and then you can get everybody's launch reactions. Oh, maybe you can. Can you? Ah, video. Perfect. And then if you're wondering about the center console, there is quite a bit of room in there. It's not too shallow. So really good technology. I just think some of the materials they chose are interesting for a car at this price point. That's like $85,000, right? This little piece in the door panel is kind of flimsy feeling, which you use to lock and unlock and then kind of change your fan speed as well. Yeah, it's just, that's not something I would expect to see in a car of this kind of caliber. The old X3 felt a lot tighter, I would say, the finishes. Now the seats in here look really cool, and they are actually very comfortable. So they look cool and they're super comfortable. They do have leg extensions as well. I have absolutely no problem sitting in these seats for a long period of time. So we're in the back seat now, and the first thing you're gonna notice is just this crazy glass panel. It's really nice, super, like so much visibility. Love that you can see all the trees up there. Really nice. Seat comfort is pretty good. It's a little on the firm side for your back. These seats are definitely a lot more comfortable. You do have like sunshades here, and overall you don't feel claustrophobic back here at all. It's quite nice actually. You do have cup holders here, and then you do have touch buttons for your heated seats back here. Nice that you have heated seats back here, and then you can control your temperature back here as well. Two USB-Cs, a little bit of storage, pretty good storage in the door panel as well. It's good. Did not park this in a very good way. I'm right at a puddle, but let's take a look at the trunk. Okay, so in the cargo space here, it has actually grown from the last generation. However, you can see there are no buttons to actually get the seats to go down, which is interesting in kind of a luxury vehicle like this. You do have extra storage underneath the floor here, and then you do get this tonneau cover, which you just have to pull all the way back to get it to slot in there. And then with the seats down, you have 67.1 cubic feet, which is up from the 62.7 the previous generation had. Driving position in this car, perfect. Seat comfort, perfect. Visibility out the vehicle, really good. You have a nice big window at your blind spot there, so no issues with that. And you have the safety features, blind spot monitoring. When it comes to fuel economy, I'm averaging about 11 liters per 100 kilometers, which is not bad at all. That CT5, that was a 4-cylinder that I had 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, was averaging about the same. And this is a inline 6, so really no complaints on fuel economy for like the power you're getting here, right? And you can get better. It's just, obviously I'm hitting the gas hard for this review. All right, so why don't we go down here and hit personal. And so now we're in kind of like a comfort mode. One complaint I would have, and Mercedes does this better, is they have a dial on the steering wheel and you just switch between your drive modes. A lot easier than having to go down here, hit my modes, and then hit sport mode, and then hit another thing and say activate. So that's a lot of steps just to get into one thing. So in that regards, the Mercedes kind of wins for that kind of stuff. So comfort mode still takes off pretty good. There is a noticeable difference between the drive modes. The throttle response is completely different, especially if you're an efficient. It's very like, you really got to give it to get going. That's the point. So maybe you're looking at this vehicle and you're like, oh, I want to wait until the X3M comes out. Honestly, you don't probably need any more power than this. This is very fast. But I always find these like M40i, M50, whatever, these like light M cars to be the best option for just daily life. If you want like a full out track performance car, you're gonna go for the full M. So if you've seen my Cadillac CT5 video, at the end of the video I mentioned I want to do more than just talk about the car in these videos. I want to maybe go somewhere, do like a mini road trip, see something I've never seen before in my sort of local area, just to make it a little more interesting. And I wanted to do that with this car. However, it was just such a busy week that I didn't really have the time to go out and do a mini road trip or something like that. So it's been a great week with this BMW X3 M50. Thanks to BMW Canada for letting me drive it for the week. This has been a lot of fun. Pretty exciting vehicle to drive on the daily. And I'd be really interested to know what all of you think about the new X3 M50 and kind of around the design and stuff too. It's been like mixed reactions from everybody I know. Some people really love it and some people are like, I liked the old one. So be interested to know what you think in the comments. Love chatting to you all in the comments. Thanks for watching and we'll see you soon.